Look at this photo. Tehran, the 1960s. Women in the latest fashion, universities packed with students, and open elections defined a thriving and modern country. Now look at this. The same city today with starkly different circumstances, illustrating a vast change over decades. So, what on earth happened in between? And why has the US been locked in a feud with Iran for 73 years? Here's the twist. It's not really about oil or religion, because America aligns with many other nations that share Iran's faith. The real story starts in 1953 with a covert decision. Once you understand it, you'll never see headlines the same way. To understand today, we must rewind to Iran in the 1950s, a nation poised for success, but with a looming issue. That issue was oil, a blessing and a curse. Iran was among the top global oil producers, rivaled only by the US and Russia. There was just one problem. Iran wasn't profiting from it. Britain took the lion's share, controlling the Anglo-Iranian Oil Company. Since 1914, Britain owned 51% of the company, fueling their navy with Iran's oil, providing Iran almost nothing. Between 1914 and 1950, the company paid £90 million in British taxes, while Iran saw little in return. The Second World War intensified control. Foreign powers occupied Iran to secure oil fields, further humiliating the nation. Imagine being in Iran's shoes. Wouldn't you want control of your own resources back? Enter Mohammad Mossadegh, a 69-year-old Western-educated lawyer, secular yet fiercely nationalist. He aimed to reclaim Iran's resources. His simple belief was that a nation should control the wealth beneath its own soil. In 1951, Mossadegh was elected, and he swiftly nationalized Iran's oil, offering Britain a 50-50 profit split. Britain refused the offer, fearing a precedent that could inspire other nations to reclaim control of their assets. If Iran succeeded, it might trigger similar actions worldwide, diminishing Britain's already waning post-war influence. So Britain implemented a blockade, froze Iranian funds, and isolated the nation internationally. Mossadegh stood strong against the pressure. Britain reached out to the United States, initially getting a firm no from President Truman, who saw Iran's move as fair. But in 1953, with Eisenhower in the White House, Britain's pitch changed. They played the communism card. If you don't act against Mossadegh, they insisted, Iran could fall to Soviet influence. The timing was pivotal. The world had just seen communism surge in China and conflict flare in Korea. Fear prompted action. America listened this time and greenlit Operation Ajax to overthrow Mossadegh. Imagining agents arriving in Tehran with suitcases of cash, they orchestrated a calculated coup. They paid off media to slander Mossadegh, hired mobs to incite unrest, and staged false communist threats. On August 19, 1953, chaos erupted. Tanks roamed the streets and hundreds perished. In the turmoil, Mossadegh was captured and spent the remainder of his life under house arrest. In his place, the West installed a compliant monarch, the Shah, Mohammad Reza Pahlavi. Pause for a second. A democracy replaced by a foreign-backed leader. Iran remembered. It was their scar. To the West, this looked like a victory. Oil flowed and American companies profited while Iran opened its doors. Yet for millions of Iranians, the Shah was a puppet, extravagant, repressive, loyal to America. The Shah's secret police, aided by the US, silenced critics violently, deepening domestic resentment. Anger simmered under the surface, ready to erupt, which it did in massive protests against the Shah. Millions demanded the Shah give up power, and after brutal crackdowns failed, he fled Iran. Ayatollah Khomeini, a religious leader exiled by the Shah, seized power, rapidly transforming Iran into a theocracy. Then the spark. The exiled Shah traveled to America for health treatment, igniting fear of another coup. Iranians stormed the US embassy in 1979, capturing hostages, reigniting memories of America's past interference. To America, it was an unacceptable breach, Innocent citizens held, igniting shock and outrage. To Iranians, the embassy was a spy den. Taking it exposed, perceived American intentions of another overthrow. The hostage crisis toppled the US presidency and isolated Iran further, severing any remaining ties. Seeking retribution, America eyed neighboring Iraq, where Saddam Hussein presented an opportunistic alliance. It was classic geopolitics. No permanent friendships, only interests, and Saddam was fighting America's new rival. America supplied Saddam with intelligence and resources, including helicopters and technological support. When Saddam used chemical weapons against Iran, America turned a blind eye, protecting strategic interests. Despite Iran presenting evidence at the UN, America blocked condemnations of Iraq's actions. Iran saw US actions as motivations for control, not about rights or laws, entrenching mutual distrust. Post-war, Iran's focus shifted towards nuclear development, alarming regional and global powers alike. Iran insisted its nuclear ambitions were peaceful, but the US and Israel suspected weapons development. If Iran succeeded, the delicate Middle East balance could tip, spurring nuclear proliferation region-wide. America reacted with sanctions, intensifying pressure to throttle Iran's nuclear ambitions. The 2015 Iran nuclear deal marked hope, promising economic relief paired with nuclear restraints. For a short time, the deal held, bringing economic stability back to Iran while inspectors monitored compliance. In 2018, with a change in US administration, the agreement collapsed under renewed sanction impositions. Iran's currency plunged, its economy suffered, and it re-escalated its nuclear projects beyond previous limits. The current scenario in 2026 presents a crisis-laden Iran under international scrutiny and domestic pressures. Sanctions threaten to cripple Iran's oil exports, while military threats and negotiation doors remain ajar. America perceives Iran as a destabilizer, a nuclear threat, and a regional agitator that must be contained. Iran sees itself resisting a superpower's attempts to dominate, drawing from historical grievances. Caught in between are ordinary Iranians longing for normalcy, opportunity, and self-determination. Until the cycle breaks, US-Iran tensions will persist, echoing history's unresolved dilemmas. Do you think this is about stopping a nuclear program or something bigger? Share your perspective. If you found this overview enlightening, like the video and subscribe for more content unraveling complex geopolitical narratives. Stay tuned as we dive deep into more captivating stories shaping our world. See you in the next video.